To go? Okay. Yeah. Fine. Waiting till 1:30. Good afternoon. This is the regularly scheduled meeting for the hearing examiner, for the Caldwell hearing examiner, and it is March 26, 2024. This is a public hearing, and my name is Sabrina Durchie, and I'll be your hearing examiner for today. I can hear quasi-judicial decisions concerning particular land use applications for the city of Caldwell. During this public hearing process, public oral testimony will be taken from those in attendance and those who have signed up to speak. Sign-up sheet is at the front of the room. When you testify, please come up to the podium. Please speak into the microphone and state your full name and address. All comments should be addressed to myself and should be relevant to the application. Once the public hearing is open, staff will present their staff report, then the applicant or the applicant's representative will be given 10 minutes to speak. After the applicant, we will allow for the public to have 3 minutes to testify, and then finally, we will allow a 5-minute rebuttal period for the applicant or applicant's representative. After this rebuttal is given, the public hearing will be closed, and no new oral or written testimony will be allowed unless I decide to reopen the public hearing. I request that everyone treats all parties with fairness and respect. Therefore, be quiet and respectful when someone is presenting. We are required by Idaho State Code to take written minutes during our public hearings. So please silence your cell phones, and thank you. So let's start our agenda for today's hearing. As far as the consent calendar, action item to approve January 23rd, 2024 minutes. Well, we didn't have a hearing, so I didn't have any minutes to approve. So, and we don't have any old business, then we will move to new business, action item. Yes. Oh. From the January 23rd. Oh, okay. I'm sorry that you're right. We did have the January 23rd. We didn't have a February. So I have signed these though, correct? No, okay. I will get them signed right now. Okay, I apologize. Now we're on to our new business item. Public hearing case number SUP 24-000001. Jason Skok on behalf of CFJ Properties requesting a special use permit to develop a 10,700 square foot truck repair and service center as well as a tire retail and service center on an undeveloped parcel adjacent to and taking access from the Flying J Travel Center. April, would you like to start with your staff report, please? Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, April.
This is April Cabello with Planning and Zoning. And good afternoon, Madam Hearing Examiner. My name is April Cabello, and I am the city planner, The application in front of you this afternoon is a special use permit for Southern Tire Mart. It's a truck repair and service center as well as a tire retail service center. And so I'll just go through my slide if that's okay.
Yep, thank you. There we go.
Is that? Let me go back. Okay. So on slide one, or slide 2. The subject site is located on the south side of Franklin Road, approximately 540 feet west of the intersection with Aviation Way. The site has frontage along Franklin Road, but no access from Franklin Road. Access will instead be taken from Aviation Way and cross the Flying J parcel to obtain access. The project site is currently surrounded by office use to the west, gas station and truck rest stop on the east, and undeveloped land to the north and undeveloped land to the south. The site is approximately 500 feet from the interstate. In 1996, the site was annexed into the city with the zoning designation of C4 Freeway Commercial. A short plat requested for 4 parcels commercial subdivision was brought before the Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council in 1998 and was approved. There has been no rezone and no comprehensive plan amendment since the site was annexed in 1996. In 2004, the airport overlay zone was adopted, and this area is in the APO 1 overlay zone. The site has historically been vacant with no structures or buildings on the site. Today's request consists of the applicant's proposal for a special use permit in the freeway commercial zone for a truck and tractor repair service and tire repair sales store. The purpose of the C4 freeway commercial zone is to provide areas in the vicinity of the freeway interchange and frontage access roads for the purpose of providing travel-related services to highway users. The proposed business is surrounded by freeway commercial uses and vacant land. Tire repair and sales is directly permitted within the zone. However, truck and tractor repair service requires a special use permit. Staff finds the use is in compliance with the surrounding uses and with the zone in, Staff finds the use is compatible use with the surrounding uses and the zoning as conditioned. The site comprehensive plan map designation is commercial and service. The site is mostly surrounded by commercial and service, comprehensive plan map designation, and manufacturing and production to the south. While the site is also adjacent to areas designated as environmentally sensitive, in these locations, that is just indicating that the site is adjacent to the interstate interchange as well as the canal to the south. The south boundary of the parcel has a 20-foot wide utility and drainage easement for the High Line Canal, and the applicant has remained outside of this easement. Staff has determined the recommended use is compatible with the surrounding uses, provided the requested buffer modification is approved and meets the intent of the zoning freeway commercial. Staff further determined that this use is located within the APO 1 overlay zone. However, it is not a noise-sensitive use as listed in the Caldwell City Code 10-11-05 noise-sensitive uses, and is therefore permitted. The access off Aviation is preferred by the city and ITD. Through parking on the adjacent parcel, though parking on the adjacent parcel has been reduced to accommodate the new access point, staff has reviewed the parking numbers and both sites will continue to meet city parking requirements. Public notifications. So the agencies have been notified: Idaho ITD, Nampa Highway District 1. Let me back up there, sorry. ITD has been notified and we provided comments in the staff report. Highway District number 1, no opposition stated. City of Nampa, Planning and Zoning, oops, can I go back? Yep. City of Napa Planning and Zoning, no opposition stated. Black Canyon Irrigation District provided comments. The project is outside of their district, no opposition stated. City Fire Department provided general conditions for approval. City Engineering Department provided general conditions of approval. City Mapping provided general conditions for approval. There was no public comments received. Site-specific conditions or concerns. Prior to issuance of a building permit, a recorded cross-access easement agreement to share the access point from Aviation Way and vehicle circulation through parcel R3530830000 shall be required. And prior to issuance of a building permit, one bike parking space shall be identified on the construction plans. Staff summary. Staff recommends that the request, if approved, the applicant is subject to the conditions as specified in the findings of facts, conclusions of law, and order of decision.
Right. Thank you, April. Well done. I don't think I have any questions for you at the moment.
Okay.
I have some questions for the applicant
Okay.
that I might need followed up by you if need be. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, now it's the applicant's turn. Applicant's representative, Trent Rhodes, yes. Trent, would you please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record?
Sure. My name is Trent Rhodes. With Southern Tire Mart at Pilot. My address is 215 Lindsay Lane, Brandon, Mississippi.
Great. Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit more about the project in itself? And one of the questions I had that maybe you can address is the ingress-egress circulation for the site. Thank you.
And I'll be brief, but the Southern Tire Mart at Pilot is a joint venture that was established a few years ago between Southern Tire Mart, which is the largest tire retailer in the United States and North America, actually, too, and then also Pilot Travel Centers to service their customers around the country. And so they're selecting locations adjacent to or even sometimes on Pilot Travel Centers to take care of the preventative maintenance needs for the patrons of the Flying J and Pilot Travel Centers. And so what we're showing here is actually a 4-bay preventative maintenance facility, Southern Tire Mart at Pilot. It's about 10,700 square feet that will strictly be for preventative maintenance. No heavy maintenance or anything like that will go on here at all. And all the maintenance happens inside the building. Nothing would happen outside at all. Preventative maintenance would include things like oil changes, tire changes, lubrication, fluid changes, those kind of things, because drivers are mandated by the Department of Transportation to only allow them to drive, or actually be behind the wheel even like 14 hours a day. They can only drive 11 hours of the day. So everything that we want to be able to do happens within a 2-hour window. I know they have 3 hours difference between those two numbers, but everything that we would do would happen between those 2 hours to allow the driver to be able to drive, do what they need to do, get their preventative maintenance done, and not be behind the wheel any other time than that. And so our hours of operation would be from 6 in the morning until 10 o'clock in the evening. We expect to have 2 shifts during that period with about 6 employees on either shift. And then I can get really specific about the access and all that kind of stuff. So,
sure. Thank you, Trent. Yeah, go ahead.
So we talked with staff, and we also talked with IDT, and actually even with Pilot Travel Centers too. And you'll notice actually on there, if you look at the plan that's on the screen right now, passenger vehicle traffic is already separate from truck traffic, and so the intent was to keep it that way, and which happened to be exactly what IDT wanted to do. So Franklin Road is on the top of the image that you see right there, and then of course Aviation Way is over on the right-hand side. So our circulation route would be off of Aviation Way, and you'll notice that there's an easement that would come in off of Aviation Way and head to the west to our site, and then so trucks would actually enter the building, come back around, and exit the exact same way that they entered the site. So all of our traffic would be off of Aviation Way.
Okay. Thank you, Trent. So as far as coming in and access, that was limited directly by ITD. They did,
Yeah, and we actually never even proposed a connection to the road to the north, the frontage road, but that's exactly right, yes.
mhm. So in all your honesty, you're bisecting a parking lot.
That's, we're driving through the parking
Yes.
lot, right? Yeah.
So what kind of improvements are you planning to make so that it's very clear that that's a drive aisle accessing a different, location?
We actually can propose, I think actually in the civil drawings too, and correct me if I'm wrong too, but I think there actually has been some signage that's been proposed also
Okay.
to delineate, here's where you enter, and actually, on Franklin, there's actually signage currently that says auto entry and then truck entry, but directly off of Aviation Way, I think we've also proposed some additional signage to enter there and direct truck traffic.
Okay. And, Trent, you're discussing an email that I saw on February 23rd communicated from Kelly Smith
Mm-hmm.
to Nikki from ITD,
Right.
and that's talking about the signage
That's
that's gonna
correct.
be there. Because I can see how it could be a little confusing, because it looks like a
Yeah.
parking lot, but really it's gonna be your entrance to
Yeah,
your site.
and actually, the same people that are using the parking lot are also using that too. So really, it's not, really what happens quite often is that they come through the fuel island that you'll see on there also, and actually then enter the site there too. But of course, we have to delineate a specific route from the right-of-way to our parcel. So in effect, they're using the entire parking lot just like they do now,
Mhm.
but we have to delineate that route between the two.
Okay. And, I noticed that there was, is it a utility easement that's already existing there that you guys are gonna have to like expand for ingress, egress?
That's actually just
Access.
shown, that's just the access easement there.
Okay, so that's what you'll be, getting a legal description and getting agreement from the Flying J owners.
That's right, which we've
Okay.
already provided the exhibit that shows that.
Okay.
And so all we need to do now, again, it's a joint venture, so they work really closely together. So now it's just a matter of formalizing that, getting them to sign and actually record.
Okay. My other, question, in the narrative, it outlines a reduction in the buffer along the western edge of the site. Can you, elaborate on that a little bit further? Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. If I remember correctly, the buffer on the western side was a 20-foot buffer, I believe. And so we're asking for a reduction to what you see here, because we need to make sure that, of course, you can imagine.
Can you highlight where where the reductions
Do
you're
you need me to
requesting?
point on the screen, or, I don't know? Oh, I can point.
Okay. I do not have a green one.
I can walk around.
That's fine. Yeah, if you wanna, come
Okay.
up here, Trent, and just,
So I'll stand on this side. So here on the west side, this was a 20-foot, buffer zone, so we're asking
okay.
to, reduce as shown right here, because you'll notice that we've got to get, this parcel is relatively set, well, it is set in width, of course, and relatively narrow. So we've got to be able to bring truck traffic through here and be able to negotiate back out and do 180 degrees and back
Mhm.
around. And so that kind of sets this width right here. And so what we've done is actually, we talked with staff about that too, and we're offering a wooden fence option along this piece along the western side to kind of,
Buffer.
create that buffer and to actually enhance it. So this area right here would be remaining, I don't think the building is about 10 feet off now. We get a little bit narrower just to the south of the building there. You'll notice just be able to have enough room for trucks to maneuver and be able to
Okay.
have room to get into.
Have enough radius so they can turn, sure.
Because
Okay.
The turning radiuses that you see right there are actually,
If you wanna get on the microphone real quick. Thank you, Trent.
so the turning radiuses that you see in that exhibit are actually, designed and computer, modeled for what's called a WB-67, which is an interstate traffic, truck, which is relatively conservative, but we'd wanna be conservative and not too optimistic.
Sure. Okay. I think I do have a follow-up question for April, so hold tight,
Okay.
just in case I need you again.
Sure.
April, what was it looks like they rearranged some stuff on their landscape plan to accommodate, but some plans had to be moved. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Are you talking about in the front?
Uh-huh.
So on 2026, or Franklin, there was a required buffer per our city code, but with ITD, they will not allow anything in a specific
Okay.
right-of-way, so we had to make an agreement, for, them to move the landscaping further into the site, as well as around by that buffer with the fencing on the side.
Oh, sure, okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Yes,
Morgan
Thank you,
Beesau,
Morgan.
Planning and Zoning. The other constraint was that on the north side of this parcel, there's an existing, access easement to get to the, I think it's the Department of Health and Welfare buildings.
yes.
So that would have, it would have been located where code would have required that landscaping buffer, and there's already this easement there. So they've sort of split it, and they have put some landscaping buffer to the north of the driveway to Health and Welfare, and then they've put the remainder of the buffer behind it, so it's not necessarily shrinking, it's just being split in half.
Rearranging,
Yeah.
sure, okay, that's what I figured, I just wanted you to explain.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
So there's
go
two
ahead.
different code sections. There's the one that requires street landscape buffers, and so that's the one along Franklin that we were talking about. The other buffer is the one that requires buffers between uses. And so the way our landscape code is written currently is that even though these are both commercial, between the offices and between the truck and tractor repair, you would normally need some sort of buffer. And so they're proposing, and the code does allow, modifications if approved, at the
So like the
decision-making
wooden
body.
fence.
So if you
in
approve
lieu.
the, a visual buffer of a fence instead of the 20 feet of landscaping, that would meet code, provided
Okay.
you thought it was appropriate. And there is a little bit, I believe, of greenery on the western border, but mostly fence.
And then, that gives me another follow-up question, April, is that delineated on the wooden fence, is that noted on their landscape plan? Or do we need to put that as a condition of approval?
It's actually noted.
It is noted, yeah.
Okay,
On the civil and on the landscape. I know it's
Okay.
on the landscape.
that's fine, so we'll just, you have it outlined, the landscape plan per what was approved, so that's fine. It looks like I don't have anyone else signed to speak unless someone else would like to come up and testify? Yes, no? Okay. Trent, do you have anything else that you'd like to add or anything in closing for your rebuttal period?
I don't think so. I will say, we're excited to be here. Staff's been great to work with. Look forward to the rest of the process. And if you have any questions or need anything else, just, let us know for sure. Thank you.
Great. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. On that note, I will close the public hearing, and based upon the testimony, information received, and record of evidence presented, I will make a motion to approve the application SUP 24-000001. Oh, yes. Well, I closed the public hearing, but I'll reopen and let you come up. Did you have, yeah, go ahead, come on. Put your name and, address for the record, please.
So my name is Simon Serich, and the address is 1209 Andy Lane,
Okay,
Caldwell. So we're Triple C Express, Triple C Truck Shop.
okay.
So I came
Oh,
here just
put
to,
Put up your mic.
I just came here to see, what's gonna be built there. So
Sure.
we have a truck shop there, and then I know the the Freightliner is coming across the
Yep,
Flying J. The only concern I have is the aviation road there, the exit right now. If you get a two truck there, like light there is, sometimes the line is all the way up to the channel, the canal there. But I'm great they're gonna be there because they're doing the right thing. I have a neighbor, AA truck shop.
mhm,
They're operating, repairing trucks just like I'm doing and they're gonna be doing, on agricultural land, and nobody's doing nothing about it.
oh, okay.
And obviously they're doing the right thing, and good
Right.
competition is always healthy.
Sure.
So
No,
thank you.
And as far as, that road right now, that looks like they're doing improvements out there, ITD is, the light is that due to St. Al's across the street, or what? Is there improvements being done out there right now, Morgan?
Are we talking about on Franklin?
Aviation
Franklin
road.
On
Aviation.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about the work that's happening up there, other
Okay.
than the ITD expansion on
It
Franklin.
looks like they've been making improvements right now at that intersection, so that
Hopefully
might
they're
help.
gonna finish this soon. So.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
thank you.
much, yes. So, I will close the public hearing again, and, again, do I need to based on my recommendation, or can I just, do you want me to do it again, Morgan? Okay, I'll do it again. Based upon the testimony, information received, and record of evidence presented, I will make a motion to approve the application SUP 24-000001. Thank you. So, great. You're welcome. Did you come all the way out from Missouri for this? Oh, you should have Zoomed called it.
We had to have somebody here.
Oh.
We have to play.
Oh,
by the rules.
really? Oh, geez.
It's another part of the country. It's great.
Get a little, yeah, some scenery. Our weather's not that bad today.
No, it's great. Actually, we were talking about humidity earlier, and it's, weather's really nice here right now.
Yeah, it is. Okay, on that, we'll close the public hearing. It is 1:55 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.